Hello Charshin, agus fáilte rais go Speak Gaelic. Welcome back to Speak Gaelic. Hamín dóchas go bhfuil sibh go frocail. I hope you're in good form. In due, bísne torst súil apperston is briarachas céilte rís dachaidh. In this episode, we're going to focus on phrases and vocabulary connected with the home. You may remember from series 1 that dachaidh is the Gaelic for home. Dachaidh. And our first phrase is a saying connected to our feelings for home. Nach bín gu an for an dogase. How sweet is the bird's song where it grew up? Or, there's no place like home. Nach bín gu an for an dogase. And as a Highlander living in the city, that's a sentiment I can definitely relate to. But I've got plenty to keep you focused and your thoughts far from home during the next 30 minutes. Nach aich sin Jane ha roin. Let's see what's ahead of us. Some useful commands.
Foscail uine can jobbe.
Calum Maclean continues with the homing theme. How to ask someone to do something.
In feuchainn.
And we meet Gaelic rapper Liam McCormick and hear why he started learning. h-ath. There's lots to come. So let's get started and speak Gaelic. A bhfuil sibh díseal? Are you ready? A bhfuil sibh díseal? Let's look at the Gaelic for some things that you'll find in every house and dachaidh. A window is uinneach. Uinneach. A door is doras. Doras. And a table is borscht. Borscht. Now, let's use these words in sentences. We'll start off with foscail, which means open. Foscail. If you want to tell someone to open the window, you say foscail an uinneach. Open the window. Foscail an uinneach. Now, to open the window, you'll need to use the handle. In Gaelic, that's wav na huinneachie, the hand or the handle of the window. Wav na huinneachie. Notice how the word the window and uinneach change to na huinneachie, of the window. Wav na huinneachie, the handle of the window. An uinneach and wav na huinneachie. To close or shut something, we use the word dún. Close. Dún. And a phrase you're very likely to have heard before. Dún doras. Close the door. Dún doras. The Gaelic for room is seomar. Seomar. And if you were in the middle of the room, you could say Hammy Sgìth. I'm in the middle of the room. Hammy Sgìth. Here, the noun seomar changed to sgìth for of the room. Mian sgìth. Let's look at one more example. To tell someone to stand, you say sheas. Stand. Sheas. And the Gaelic for a table is borscht. Table. Borscht. So if you were to ask someone to stand at the end or at the head of the table, you would say sheas h-ath. Stand at the end of the table. Sheas h-ath. And again, you'll notice that borscht changed to bhruidhinn for of the table. This is what we call the genitive case. You'll find more detailed explanations on how the genitive case in Gaelic often changes the form of the noun on our website, and it is one worth spending a bit of time on in order to understand how it works. Nisha, nach aich sin rís na chóirú. Let's listen to this next conversation.
Hello, bhfuil si bhfuil go dáil?
Ha, papala tandra.
Hammy Sgìth. Bhfuil Alice an seo noch?
Hammy Sgìth, hello. Hammy Sgìth, cur-seachad, shall. A fel glúsid go taith úr? Ha, Hammy glúsid go taith úr. A fel glúsid go balla úr? Chan Hammy glúsid go balla úr?
Cur-seachad how glósid.
Had op bhruidhinn go an Scots sa bhela, bhí an flatú na h-ath mópad,
Níalt an éoch.
agus haníon éile a tionndadh an seo.
Still am cultus an jobber sin, Alice.
Hai mór cúideach. Is tal am miad den cheumannan.
Sés a Calum MacIlleathain agus híising an seo mar ule.
H-ath cur-seachad. An fear seo, sé pres iteig a hain. Ó graag, frís mi lavendorish.
Oeps, ha, sin féimal.
Wel, selig briagad?
Chan Hammy donna? Siúd,
Foscail unne can jobber.
chan anything go? Ha lav na hunne go bhíiste.
Half fun of books devotion.
Va Felix. Trang.
Wel, Felix a glúsid cúideach.
Ha Felix a glúsid cúideach.
And the Gaelic sibh cúidsin a fachlan a chomhalta sin an siúd. Did you recognise some of the phrases we heard there? Seamus wanted to see what Alice's room looked like, so he asked her to Sgìth ag ceann na bhúrst. Stand at the end of the table. Sgìth ag ceann na bhúrst. Notice how the noun changed. We say borscht for table, borscht, but ceann na bhúrst for the end of the table. Ceann na bhúrst. We also heard another example of this in Catriana's slightly nosy question. h-ath an dorish. What's at the back of the door? What's behind the door? h-ath an dorish. You can hear there how an doris, the door, has changed to an dorish, of the door. And then when Catriona asked Alice to foscail iteig, open the window of the room. Foscail iteig. Alice wasn't able to because ha-wav na iteig bhruidhinn. The handle of the window is broken. Ha-wav na iteig bhruidhinn. And remember, you'll find lots more examples of the genitive case, what it means, and how nouns change as a result of it on our website. Now, let's listen to some of these phrases again, and you can watch all of the conversations in this series, supported by bilingual transcriptions, on our website.
Sés a Calum MacIlleathain agus híising an seo mar ule.
H-ath cur-seachad. An fear seo, sé pres iteig a hain. Ó graag, frís mi lavendorish.
Oeps, ha, sin féimal.
Wel, selig briagad?
Chan Hammy donna? Siúd,
Foscail unne can jobber.
chan anything go? Ha lav na hunne go bhíiste.
Sean Páirc is Sherlim gin program. Now, to my favourite part of the programme. Han Calum Maclean riar neach-ionnsachaidh. I've been joined by Liam McCormick, who you may know as the Gaelic rapper, Hammy Sgìth. But before we start talking, let's find out a bit about him.
Hello, it's Mr. Liam McCarmaig. Hi, I'm Liam McCormick. I'm a fúrach yn y Glasgow ach hocwch mi sy'n ilan dŵ a Gaeltach. When I was young, I picked up a couple of Gaelic words from going to the local feis. And as an adult, I finally started learning the language, and now I feel as if I found my voice again. I like to read, especially Gaelic poetry. I find it incredibly influential. It has inspired me to write my own Gaelic songs and make Gaelic rap music. I do this under my creative name, Hammy Sgìth. That's just a wee joke for Gaelic speakers, as Hammy Sgìth is a well-used Gaelic phrase meaning I am tired. Seo blosset, tionndadh. Seo Gaelic bhruidhinn seo Gaelic-scot, fatan a shark na facu bearlas an bí itcher, so ma grain a cur-seachad is cútar-daki, tionndadh is shein in lemon toirt show. Seo Gaelic bhruidhinn seo Gaelic-scot, fatan a shark na facu bearlas an bí itcher, so ma grain a cur-seachad is cútar-daki, tionndadh is shein in lemon toirt show. I'm interested in art and I'm a keen painter. At the moment, I'm working on a new project with spray paint. I'm not so good with the hand paints. Mar sin is searlúm na canisterin a chhlacach. I said down, sin h-ath show. I'm toirt, I'm happy with that.
Well, fáilteoirt Liam, does speak Gaelic. Cymra how?
Oh, ha go mat up live, cymra win.
Good oil more and thing. Now, you started learning Gaelic again as an adult. How did you go about that?
I'd met a few people at work and stuff like that could speak Gaelic, and then I went to college to study at Kelvin College in Maryhill. I learned from Ishbel Murray and Calum Maclean, and I just really enjoyed it. I had a lot of good times, met a lot of really lovely people.
Oh, that's the best way to learn, amongst friends.
Aye, sure, aye, definitely.
And you said that you found your voice again through Gaelic. Why do you think that was?
Aye, well, just, it's like, I think you get put out of your comfort zone a lot when you're learning Gaelic, because you've got, there's a whole other language and you're using a lot of like, sort of sounds and things like that in your voice that are like, they're present there and they're like part of the Highland English and like Scottish English in general. But aye, it just challenges you to speak more, speak to different kinds of people and sort of, yeah, just pushes you out your comfort zone.
So you do have to be quite brave.
Aye, definitely. You find a lot of strength that you didn't know you had through the process of learning anything, but particularly with Gaelic, I think, aye.
And in terms of learning Gaelic and using your Gaelic now, what opportunities do you have in your daily life?
I found an online community of people that can speak Gaelic. They're all about my own age. So I speak it socially. I speak it at work because my kind of line manager can speak Gaelic, and I teach music and stuff like that. And a lot of the kids can speak Gaelic as well. So I use it at work quite a lot, use it with my friends. That
online community has become really strong and you do feel like you're part of a big family.
Aye, definitely. And like, just everyone's always ready to help you, and like people that are maybe a couple of years further on than you are always willing to like give you a hand and give you corrections in a kind and like polite sort of manner.
And did you have a moment maybe in your learning or even in your performing when it was like a breakthrough for you for Gaelic?
The biggest moment I can remember was talking to a woman from Australia. I'd never really had like a sort of social Gaelic conversation with someone I didn't really know. Yeah. But we ended up speaking about all sorts of stuff, about culture, about people feeling that they have no culture, and people, the sort of ways people try to deal with that sort of feeling of loss. And it was weird kind of like trying to have this complicated conversation with the simple concepts and words that I had. And then you realise that maybe sometimes putting stuff in a more simpler way is actually kind of makes it a bit clearer.
Absolutely. And talking of words and phrases, do you have any particular ones that you love in Gaelic?
Sear Gaelic bhruidhinn seo Gaelic-scot. And it just basically means like it's better to have broken Gaelic than no Gaelic.
Absolutely. Agus h-ath. Good luck for all your future performances. Agus tapleibh go mór. Thank you so much for coming to visit us here at Speak Gaelic.
Oh, tapleibh. Madachainne.
Nisha, it's time to leave the studio behind for a while and join Calum MacIlleathain as he goes off the beaten track and introduces us to some of Scotland's alternative attractions. And today, Calum's keeping to the dachi theme, but not the kind of dachi you and I are likely to return home to.
The humble pigeon, or in Glasgow, commonly known as a dhu. In Gaelic, we call this bird a culaman, which sounds a lot like my name, Calum. But do not be confused, it's culaman.
Do not be confused, that's the worst pun yet.
Did you hear something? Now, a culaman, or a dhu, can be a pest to some people, but to some others it's a dhuish, a prize, a dhuish. And to find out more, I've got to go and find some dhu men. Right, Calum, you can show me the way. Over there? Hi, let's go.
There's estimated to be about 1,000 do men here in Scotland who take part in flying doos at the h-ath, the weekend, h-ath. The doos are kept in their dachi, home, dachi, which is called a ducat. The birds are kept and flown for sport, and it's called do flying. Bobby McKellar's been a do man for 40 years.
How does the sport work?
I'll put a do out, they'll put a hen out. Hopefully my do puts their hen in, or their hen puts my do in. Find out who's got the best birds. That's what it's all, don't they? And I think I've got some of them.
What is it you love so much about it?
Just the fun of it. You're out all day, flying your doos all day. It's brilliant, you can't beat it. Better than sitting in the house, isn't it?
It's true, eh? So is it about whoever's got the bonniest bird? I mean, it doesn't matter who's the fastest.
No, there's good birds in it and there's ones that's not been tested yet. Once they go out and get tested, you'll find out the day.
Okay.
If they're good or no. If they're no good, they'll not come back. That's what it's done, eh?
Right, I fancy giving this a go. Can you show me how it all works? Good, let's give it a go. So what do you reckon, Bobby? Is this a good bird?
No. Chances are he'll not come back.
All right. Apparently he needs a wee bit of help, so I'm going to practice my feuchainn and ian bird sounds. Feuchainn and ian. If he does come back, maybe I'm a good luck symbol or something.
He comes back, I'll be surprised.
Good luck, wee man.
It's up to Bobby to do the release.
So how long will this take, do you think?
Usually give him an hour, but I'll give him 5 minutes. He'll be off.
He went back in. Is that how it's supposed to work? Can you at least suck him? I don't know. Well, it's nice to see the Calum MacIlleathain coming home, h-ath. But it's now time for this Calum to head to his own dachi and have a Joe chup of tea, a nice cup of tea. A Joe chup of tea. And yeah, I'll find my own way home just fine.
Chadarain Calum and Calum more in ski h-ath. Calum's pigeon didn't do a lot of flying there. Chadarain more in ski. And as ever, thanks to his daring do, we now know that a dúis is a prize, Calum is a pigeon, and Joe chup of tea is a good cup of tea. Joe chup of tea. You'll find more of Calum's take on Gaelic on all of our social media platforms. And why not use them to get in touch with us? It would be great to hear from you. Nisha, let's speak some more Gaelic. Earlier in the programme, we looked at some commands you can use to tell someone to do something, like tionndadh, shut the door, or fo-thiotalan, open the window. But if you want to be more polite, which is always a good thing, we can turn these phrases into questions just by adding a question word to the command. Words like un or So instead of just doon, close, we say doon you. Will you close? Doon you. To ask someone to close the door, it's tionndadh. Will you close the door? Tionndadh. When you're asking someone to do something, another useful word to use is h-ath, which means bring, along with the phrase h-ath ga, give me, h-ath ga, h-ath and h-ath ga. But if you wanted to say, will you give me, it's tionndadh ga, tionndadh ga. For example, you could say, tionndadh ga I bhascait. Will you give me the basket? Tionndadh ga I bhascait. To order someone to get something for you, we use fai, get, or fetch. Fai, as in feuchainn, get that. Feuchainn. But to request or ask that someone gets something for you, will you get or will you fetch, we say faiu, and whatever it is, go. Fai, faiu, and whatever it is, go. For example, to ask for a bowl, faiu bowl the go. Faiu bowl the go. And to ask someone to put something somewhere, we use an cúdú. Will you put? An cúdú. For example, to ask someone to put something on the table, an cúdú seo I the bhórst. Will you put this on the table? An cúdú seo I the bhórst. Now, let's listen to this next conversation, and you may recognise two particular phrases from Series 1. Han tachgras orm, I'm hungry, and ham pagorm, I'm thirsty, as well as a new phrase, ritúv, beside, ritúv.
Is still a runnies Ronaldo h-ath.
Sin ma, ach a bána céide sin salach.
Gwanni mi h-ath marach. Catch about Elsie and you.
Ha Elsie a the hol cucina le carriage.
Han tachgras orm.
Han tachgras oram sa cuteach. Ha singa dala yiche pizza.
Scanyal.
In Gian sing picnic.
Ni.
Well, ha basket for tuva vord aan sa hitchin. In toru a basket and show me shit the holle. I guess need the lavin. In cúdí seo ag ceann a bhúrt, in túsin, sinne, thorgó tréisiad.
Han pa orm an ish.
Han pár oram sa cuteach. Ha siúca isce ri tuv an think. In toru huca me shit the holle.
And tormi ma han pizza.
Jev me sin pizza. Han bowl of salad ri tuv na hinneacha. In feuchainn go. Sinne, tapalacht.
Hammy Sgìth agus han tachgras mór orm. Still owns a pizza. And taléimse salad.
And the hookshiv kucht in a chaya ranjit. Did you recognise some of the phrases in that conversation? Marstein was kept on his toes by his mother asking him to do lots of things. Hodgo treinshir. Give me a plate. Hodgo treinshir. Then she had another request for him. And cúdú seo ag ceann na bhórst. Will you put this at the end of the table? And cúdú seo ag ceann na bhórst. They also asked him to fetch the salad bowl, which was sitting ritúv na hunneacha by the side of the window. Ritúv na hunneacha. When asking, she said, feuchainn go. Will you get that for me? Feuchainn go. A very useful phrase. But Mathy was, as always, polite and thanked Marstein, saying, Tachbelecht. Thank you. Tachbelecht. Cynnichiv, remember, you can watch all of the conversations in this series, along with bilingual transcriptions, on our website.
Thorgó tréisiad.
Han pa orm an ish.
Han pár oram sa cuteach. Ha siúca isce ri tuv an think. In toru huca me shit the holle.
And tormi ma han pizza.
Jev me sin pizza. Han bowl of salad ri tuv na hinneacha. In feuchainn go.
Sinne, tapalacht.
Gaelic verbs have one form for the simple statement, like bha gopur, and a secondary form for the question, in ro gopur, or the negative response, charo. In the future tense, this secondary form is usually the command of the verb. Sui, for example, is sit, and suyu, will you sit, and chahui, to refuse. Dún is close or shut, as in tionndadh, shut the door. Tionndadh, will you shut the door, and chaún, to refuse. H is the command listen. Neach-ionnsachaidh, will you listen, and h-ath, to refuse. h-ath. Let's take a quick look at a number of the phrases we've covered in this episode. Some useful commands that you can use round the house. To tell someone to shut the door, you would say tionndadh, tionndadh. And to open the window, fo-thiotalan, fo-thiotalan. We saw how the genitive case causes a change in the form of the noun. If the handle of the uinneach, the window, is broken, it's ha-wav na huinneacha bhruidhinn. Ha-wav na huinneacha bhruidhinn. We also looked at how to ask for things using the phrases will you bring, an toirt, or will you give me, an toirt. To ask someone to get something, it's feuchainn. And to ask them to put something somewhere, an cúdú. Remember, there are lots of supporting resources on our website, which will allow you to go into our learning in more detail, and where you'll also find information about classes you can join. Don't forget to download our podcast from BBC Sounds and make sure that you follow us on all of our social media platforms so that you can keep up to date with everything Speak Gaelic. Shuatabh, Hammy Sgìth còrr. Cheumannan mar sin leibh.